Hey guys, welcome to the next video using the recursive function. This is level 3 diamond video. So continuing on with using the recursive function, just a quick review. A sub n minus 1 represents the previous term because that minus 1 means you move back 1. Plus d, or d is the common difference, and a sub 1 equals the first term. A sub n is the current term that we're looking for. So the first example says a sequence can be generated by using a sub n equals 4, a sub n minus 1, where a sub 1 is 6, and n is a whole number greater than 1. And they are asking for the first 4 terms in the sequence. So we're just going to take this step by step because it's not as complicated as it looks. So first of all, we are going to identify the first term. Right, well, a sub 1 equals the first term. So here they tell me a sub 1 equals 6. So that is my first term. Next, they ask, what is the rule of the formula, or what is happening to each of the previous terms? Well, my previous term is a sub n minus 1. So this is my previous term. Well, what is happening every time, or what is my equation telling me to do to that previous term? Well, it has a 4 in front of it. So that means I'm going to multiply by 4. So what is the rule of the formula? Times 4. This is what's happening to each of the previous terms. So every time that you have a number to move forward to the next one, we're going to multiply times 4. So apply the rule to find the missing terms. Well, they're asking us for the first 4 terms. Well, I already know the first one. It's 6. So I need to fill in those 3 blanks because they're asking for the first 4 terms. And we know what the rule is. The rule is times 4. So we are going to multiply 6 times 4, and that is 24. And then we keep that pattern going, right? Some of you may need a calculator at this point. Right, 6 times 4 is pretty easy. 24 times 4, 96. And then the last one, we keep that pattern going. $384. So that's our first example. Example number 2. Now this one tells me it's arithmetic. This one just said a sequence. So a sequence is just a pattern. In this particular pattern, it was times 4. But this time it says an arithmetic sequence. Well, in an arithmetic sequence, we're only adding or subtracting. So it says can be generated by using a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 plus 2, where a sub 1 equals negative 5, and n is a whole number greater than 1. What are the first 4 terms in the sequence? So first step, identify the first term, which is given right here. So a sub 1 equals negative 5. What is the rule of the formula? Well, what am I doing every time to this previous term? Here's my previous term. What am I doing to the previous term every time? Well, right here, I'm adding 2. The rule is plus 2, which in this case is also our common difference. So we're going to apply the rule to find the missing terms. Well, I start with negative 5 because that's my first term. And then I'm going to add 2. Well, negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. Right? If you're not very good with negatives, use your calculator. So negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. So now I have 2 terms. I'm going to add 2 again. And and that's negative 1. So my next term is negative 1. And then I'm going to add it one more time because I want 4 terms. And my final term that I need is positive 1. So term 1, term 2, term 3, term 4. Last example, a sequence. It doesn't say arithmetic, it just says a sequence. Can be generated by using a sub n equals negative 2, a sub n minus 1, where a sub 1 equals 2, and n is a whole number greater than 1. What is the 5th term in the sequence? So this time I'm looking for one specific one. So we start with the same thing every time. The first thing we do is identify the first term. So a sub 1 equals 2. What are we doing to the previous term? Well, here's my previous term. What's being done to that a sub n minus 1? Well, I have this negative 2 in front of it. With it being directly in front, it means I multiply by negative 2 or times negative 2. So this time we're not adding or subtracting because it's not an arithmetic sequence. So now we apply the rule to find the missing term. I'm looking for the 5th term, not all 5, just the 5th term. So I'm going to do my math over here before I write my final answer. So I'm starting with positive 2. Well, actually, I'm only going to put the blank in the 5th spot. So this is going to be times negative 2, which is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative 2 is positive 8. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. And then negative 16 times negative 2 is positive 32. That's the number I'm looking for because they are asking for the 5th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the number we need. So the missing term or the 5th term is 32. So by looking at the recursive formula that you're given, you just need to be able to see what is happening to each of the previous terms. Are they adding or subtracting a number? Is it being multiplied by a certain number? And once you know the first term, you just start applying that rule to each of the first terms to find the missing numbers. Now try your practice and check your answers in the answer keys.